Hey everybody, I'm Kathy Boyle. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about networking. So people compare me to Malcolm Gladwell's connector. One person this week said if there was a sport of networking, I would be an MVP player. So I love to connect people. I'm very good at it. I have amazing connections. Sometimes my connections even amaze me. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about networking and why you need it and whether you do need it. So a lot of business owners think they don't need it. If you run a septic company, a propane company, or a oil delivery service company, you may not think that you need it. You're in the local town. You get visibility by either donating to charities, supporting softball leagues, maybe advertising, maybe local placements in your, on the community pages. A lot of word of mouth. Facebook mom groups have become the source for everybody from landscapers to painters to contractors in a local community. So that's where a lot of my contracting kinds of clients and colleagues tell me that they're getting business. However, a network can be much, much greater and have serious impact. So what I tell people is that you have to think about the goal of what you're trying to do when you're networking. So it could be to create a board of advisors for your company. It could be to get better professionals. Perhaps you're going to need a new CPA or an attorney or any kind of advisor of any type of professional. It's tough to just do that within your own community. Sometimes the people that you know are not as sophisticated as you need. Perhaps you need somebody who can cover multiple states. That might be somebody outside of your immediate network, and that's where, again, a bigger, broader network can happen. Now, most entrepreneurs, especially that run either any kind of business, privately held businesses for the most part are not on LinkedIn. Service businesses are on LinkedIn, and they know how to use it. But I find especially the hard services, the blue collar service businesses are not on LinkedIn. You maybe have a profile, maybe no picture, maybe 78 contacts or 100 contacts. I have 9,000 contacts on LinkedIn. So I'm very active on LinkedIn. I'm also very active on Facebook. I use the two networks completely differently. So Facebook is for fun and for animal rescue. So I rescue animals as a passion, and I'm able to use my network. Sometimes my connections even amaze me. So I'm going to tell you a quick story in the animal rescue world, which translates into the human possibilities. So a friend of mine does rescue through email. Email is the way we did it before we had social media. So I email 20 of my friends. Hopefully they each email 10 or 20 of their friends, et cetera, et cetera. The pipeline goes on, geometrically explodes, right? The potential to reach thousands of people very quickly if everybody sends the email out. We do it blind CC. So there's no way to go backwards. So if I found a dog and I found its owner, I can't tell everybody that they're reunited. If I place the dog, I can't tell everybody. The email chain can live on. It's like the old-fashioned chain mail letters. They can go on and on and on. It lives for months. The person that had the original dog or cat that was looking for a new home has probably gotten 5,000 phone calls. They may have changed their phone number, or they may just stop answering, period, right? So then people get frustrated because they said, I was willing to adopt that golden retriever or that German shepherd, and there's no way to know. So this friend of mine still does it by email, and she keeps sharing them with me, and I've told her over and over again, I am not sharing those emails. I'm not doing it that way. Find time to set up a second Facebook page. Her first one is her family. It's truly family and friends. She only has about 200 friends on that. Friends and family get really tired of us showing yet another pit bull that is in desperate need that's going to be killed tomorrow, or a dog in desperate need of adoption. So I've encouraged her to create a second page. She hasn't done it. So she called me one night, she texted me, and she said, can you please look at the email? Do you know anybody in California? I said, I only have like 3 people in California. And she said, well, I've already asked one of them, they can't do it. Please look. So I open up the email. It's LA. She thinks it's Los Angeles. It's Louisiana. I live in Westchester County. I do not know a soul in Louisiana at that time. However, I'm working very actively on a rescue project in Texas. So I happen to have a pretty good circle in Texas, and I have some really avid, great people on Facebook. So the people that are really good will share your post. They don't just like it. They don't just lurk. They actually take action, and taking action is a critical piece of networking. So believe it or not, in 24 hours, I found this poor dog that had 9 puppies under the porch of a church in a very poor parish in southern Louisiana. No local ACO, no animal control officer, no rescues nearby, no money, very poor. They were feeding them scraps from the kitchen. So I found a rescue in Michigan through one of my connections. She got the rescue to fund the dog. We got a person to physically go get the dog, bring it to a vet. We got somebody else to drive the dog and the puppies 2 hours north to a gal in Shreveport who actually hosted the dogs, fostered the dogs until the puppies were old enough to be adopted. 9 puppies in your house. Now that's a gift. And then on top of that, I ended up getting a donation from a gal in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who went to Old Mississippi with my Fort Worth, Texas friend. So talk about connection upon connection. Now that is the story of a miraculous gift. So you can do this in any industry, any way. You just have to build up your network and believe in the power of networking. Right now I'm helping a business owner who is looking to source manufacturing of a company he just purchased. He makes a product in the pet industry, and it's a sewing. It needs a sewing factory that there's some physical. It's not just machine only. There's some hand labor involved. And Latin America is much more expensive than China. However, with the recent tariffs and then with the anti-China pushback from COVID, a lot of people are looking to buy products that are not made in China. So believe it or not, I have been able to source 3 connections in Latin America to be able to help him to potentially change his manufacturing to Latin America. So one of my connections actually is a very large textile company in Uruguay. So amazing contacts, amazing ability to connect people. Now I do this for free. I call it psychic chits in the universe. It does come back to me in many ways, and that's the thing that you have to believe, is that if you honestly help other people, will come back. Now, I have a friend of mine who has not a networking bone in her body. Getting her, she's one of my very close friends, but getting her to make a connection is painful. And I just can't get her to do this to save my life. And it becomes really frustrating for me, especially since I've made many connections for her. And I've asked her, could you please just do a joint email? So a lot of people also make very bad email introductions. They make very sloppy ones, maybe one-sided. I have one guy who gets very, very little traction from his email introductions. People just completely ignore them because he does it so often, and he does it too mechanically. He's obviously cutting and pasting something about me, and it's the same phrase every single time. I have a great connection for you, and then he copies and pastes something about me that's actually not 100% accurate and sends it out to the 2 of us, but he says nothing about the other connections. So A, why would they meet me? And B, who are they? And why would I want to meet them? So there's a gift to making the connection. There's a way to do it that creates a gift. So you need to take 5 minutes out of your day and just do a warm intro and say, Harry, I want you to meet Lou because the 2 of you are both in Long Island. You're both invested in the food business. Harry does this, Lou does that. When COVID-19 is over and we're able to meet, please connect in person. In the meantime, hopefully you can have a call. So those are kinds of warm introductions so that people know where they are, they know where they live. In some cases, I share cell phone numbers of each party so they can text each other and get together that way. So there's a variety of ways that you can connect. So a couple of tips that I'm going to give you is everybody knows minimum 100 people. So if you think about it, if you're sitting at a table of 10 people, you're really sitting with potentially 1,000 connections. So the secret is to unlock the connections in the other person's circle. So to do that, you have to be genuine and sincere. You have to be very clear on what your goal is. So is your goal business development? Are you looking to get more professionals in your circle? Are you looking to get clients? Are you looking to serve on a not-for-profit board? Are you looking to get charity money for one of your philanthropic ventures? Are you looking to hire somebody? Are you looking to get a new job? So whatever your goal is, you should be very crystal clear on that, and that kind of guides your networking. For me, I operate in the greater than, you never know, and since my business is somewhat diverse, we do business and succession planning for a wide variety of industries. I will do anything but the meat industry. I won't do anything that harms animals. So nothing that kills an animal harms an animal, processes an animal. And so I'm always open to meeting anybody, anywhere. And because I do a broad range of planning from business to succession to estate and personal, and then we have a wealth management firm that's separate, I can help people in a number of ways. And I always feel that if I'm able to help somebody with a website development or copy for their blog or some kind of creative thing that they need, or even a medical reference for their mom, elder care services, etc., it will come back and pay me in spades. Now, it's not a quid pro quo. I never do that. I never turn around and say, okay, I've done this for you, Harry, what are you going to do for me? However, if somebody does have somebody in their network, I will ask them, and I say, would love an introduction to that person. If you can make a warm intro, I'd appreciate it. So those are the ways to really carry out networking. More on networking later, but please, in these times of COVID-19 and isolation, do think about ways to increase your network. We'll be giving a networking panel on May 6th. If you're around, I don't want to date this, but look for an invitation through our website. Have a great day.